Welcome to the Inspired Evolution. I told you to be loud. Guys, I am so thrilled to be here today. It is such a treat. It's actually like a yummy, yummy treat because not only have you arrived, but you've brought some bread with you. For those tuning in for the first time, Jo, Sally Godfrey, how are we?
Good, thank you.
It is such a treat to have you here. For those tuning in for the first time, Jo and Sally basically are the masterminds, behind No Grainer. And if you haven't tried No Grainer is basically, it's a no-brainer. No-grainer is bread that basically, how do I articulate it? Maybe you guys can tell us what's going on. Like, there's no gluten, right? It's actually good for your blood pressure as well. There's like all these things about your bread that it's... Okay, so my biggest challenge is that I've recently gotten aware that gluten-free is good for me. Yeah, and I'm not saying that gluten-free is good for everybody. Sure, some people can navigate their way through gluten. There's a whole piece there, which I'm sure we can talk about, which is, the fact that gluten is probably not as evil as we make it out to be, but our modern-day farming practices have really compromised that plant, and how we interact with it is therefore compromised.
And also, I guess, the way it's processed as well. Like, if you're going to do like a 24-hour fermented sourdough, it's going to be a hell of a lot better than a loaf of tip-top or...
Yeah, right? And so the way we interface with that now, and so in society, people are kind of just leaning away from, more and more frequently just going, okay, no, like... But the reality is, okay, this is classic, because just on the weekend, we were at someone's house and they had sourdough, and they had the gluten-free bread. And I was like, oh, which one's gluten-free? And I was like, kind of just asking casually, think out loud, I'm an extrovert. And in that moment, I'm going, oh, which one's gluten-free? My mate's like, is that seriously a question? It's the one that looks like cardboard. And I was like, of course, that's the gluten-free one.
Yeah.
The sourdough is the one that pulled me into wanting the bread, and it's like, okay, now I have to make the gluten-free option. And the thing that really instigated this podcast for us was I was at a friend's place, and we were ravenous, and we basically ended up eating gluten-free bread, which I couldn't believe was gluten-free. It was actually better than bread. And I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, no grainer. And I'm like, tell me more. And they're like, no grainer. And I was just like, what about more? And they're like, no grainer. And I'm like, I'm going to have to Google no grainer and get a podcast going so I can actually find out what's going on. And so I've done a little bit of background research into your story, but I'd love for people to figure out what's going on, because you're two German sisters who love on bread in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us more.
I mean, bread is just, as a lot of people, it's a huge staple. But, every variety of bread we grew up with, all the pumpernickels, all that kind of German-style bread. And then our grandmother, our Uma, was told once, like, she shouldn't eat bread anymore. A doctor told her.
What happened to her?
She had quite a few things. She was on, warfarin. She had quite a few things wrong, like problems with her eyes and things.
Yeah.
She's since passed away. And when she was told she couldn't have bread, she said, bread is a slice of life.
I would rather die than not eat bread.
And that gives you some idea.
Yeah, right. Of how entrenched you were into bread culture. Yeah. Yeah.
And Jo is a celiac. It became, our issues with bread, when we look back, and gluten, people say gluten-free is BS, but for us, 100% is responsible for so many of our problems.
Yeah.
You had acne issues?
From when I was 11, like out of control.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. Like, complete just self-esteem.
Yeah.
In the
Going through high school, that, the most vulnerable time in your life.
Yeah.
Which is such a supportive time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally, though, as soon as I got diagnosed and I stopped, I think within, 3 days, my skin started clearing up. And
wait. Let's just do that again. So, how long have you been struggling with it?
So I was 11 when it started. I was diagnosed when I was 30, and I had acne up until then. But I didn't want to even deal with the fact that it could be gluten, because I love beer. I love bread. So like every, it was like
there's a full German program pushing forward.
Can't be that. Yeah, and within 3 days. Yeah.
After 19 years of slogging through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I'm actually speechless. That is.
And so you feel a bit angry because you're like, what Jo went through. I mean, I had acne as well. I had other problems, but my acne got worse as I got older, so I had really bad adult acne. Same thing, I stopped eating gluten, and within a week.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking
You had other issues as well, right?
Yeah.
You had diabetes really fucking young.
I've got like the autoimmune type, and they're now thinking that gluten could be responsible. It's not just celiac.
Yeah.
It causes, obviously, you've got to have leaky gut or something like that already, and you add gluten on top of that, and it's going to cause autoimmune disease. And I do feel like that is what my diabetes has come from. You know, antibiotic use, there's a whole, truckload of stuff. Yeah, better word than mine. Yes. I can't even say
okay, I've done a couple of these podcasts. This is your first one, so...
I say Miriam.
Next podcast, Miriam. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and you feel mad. You feel like if only, I mean, everything shapes you and you can't regret it, but you just think those vulnerable years and what they set up to be a young girl. We were both chubby because I think it was just everything that we were doing kind of does point to our diets. And it does make you what you are. I don't regret it because I think sometimes, you meet those people that were just perfect through all high school and you're like, oh, you are so boring, So it's not the worst
thing. We have to work on our personality.
That's why this is so much fun right now. So blessings in disguise. Blessings in disguise. Can I ask, let's get into that a little bit. So what was the point of inflection? Where was it that you realised, it might be gluten? What was that trigger? Was it for one of you, for both of you? Like, what happened?
I know for me. What was it for you, Jo?
I think because I was getting a lot of heartburn.
Oh, you were.
And really just not feeling good at all. And I started doing some research. And this is back, 12, 13 years ago. Yeah. So it wasn't information.
When no one had an issue with gluten back then.
Well, but there wasn't this huge amount of information that we have now. You've got to dig a little bit deeper. And then I remember someone saying that's what it could be. And so I went and did the test. But ridiculously enough, with the gluten test, you actually have to eat gluten for 6 weeks before you can be tested to get an accurate result.
Three times a day.
Is that still the test?
I know they're working on a better one. I know that they are.
You'd hope they'd be working on a better one.
It's the most ridiculous.
So you need 3 times a day for 6 weeks.
Yeah. We heard, Jo and I did this gluten-free festival, which we were a bit out of place because
I thought it was our people. It was my decision. I had things like, this is it, Sal. We found our people. We're going to go to this gluten-free festival. And she was like $900, and that's like huge for us.
Yeah. And there's gluten-free and there's gluten-free. But this woman did a talk. I'm going to go listen to this talk. And she talked about her experience with her child who was a celiac who went through the test. This little baby, 2 or 3 years old.
Dude.
And she said, I was forcing her to eat gluten 3 times a day. The child was so malnourished, like so unbelievably sick. And then when they got the test results back, the doctor said, your child is so gluten intolerant, it's so bad that 1 crumb of toast will have a devastating effect on her health.
No, you've just subjected.
Yeah. And then she said, and now the worst thing is my child doesn't trust me to feed them anymore. And I'm like, why did you do that? I'm there going, everyone's like clapping, and I'm there going, why did you feed them? I don't want to judge this poor mother.
Wow.
But I don't really understand why. I mean,
it's such a crippling place to be, right? Like, you want to make the best possible decision, and you have to go through that. I didn't realize
what that's going to do to the gut, though.
That was the process, and how much you're deteriorating
so much
something that's already an issue, and just to diagnose that as an issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've never done the proper test, but I know that it doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
I don't have that bread baby stomach every day that I used to have.
Yeah, so that was the big one for me, right? Like, I've been on a journey for health for a long time. The Inspired Evolution podcast at its core is about health.
Yeah.
My biggest finding has been that, and this is why you guys are here, is because the biggest piece to your health, in my humble opinion, is your purpose. It's like, what are you actually showing up for 9 times out? Like, you two are very happy individuals, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're making bread that you love, you know? Like you're actually like connected to a task that you actually really enjoy doing. But I've been on this journey for health for a long time, and it's gone in and out of different little rabbit holes and all these different things, and diet has been an intrinsic part of it, I remember I pretty much had my hands up in the air at a certain point when I was just like, I was 85 kilos of pure muscle, and I just got to a point where I was like, I cannot move past noon. I just can't. Like, midday came around, if it wasn't for caffeine, I was just a sack of potatoes. I literally couldn't do anything. But I looked fit. I looked everything, the magazines made me look like, and I realised there's a distinct difference between fit and healthy. Fit is like fitting, literally fitting into society's stereotype of what you should look like, and again, when you see should, red flag, right? But health is actually like individual to each person. So I went on this journey of becoming a vegetarian, and that really evolved my relationship with food, just realising, wow, like what it means to be nourished, and like fibre and all these different conversations opened up. And then on that, down the track, it started getting into, okay, what is dairy, what is gluten doing for me and not doing for me? How important is it to my diet? A lot of people now are like, you don't need dairy. It's like a bovine growth factor. You're not bovine, you're not growing at the rate you were when you were a kid. Do you really need bovine growth factor? And it's an interesting conversation. I still think it's delicious. I think wild milk is probably like a superfood. Absolutely, I swear by it. But the processed stuff, homogenized, pasteurized, again, stems similar into this conversation. But I realised gluten for me is exactly what you were saying, is I just bloated. Like, and as a bloke, we don't talk about bloated often, it's like, it's just something like, men, but it was this thing, and I started noticing that, like, actually, if I ate bread, I would be more bloated. And that would impact how I would move when I went to the gym. And that was when I really started getting clear on, like, okay, different foods are impacting my movement patterns because of the posture that I'm held in when I'm in them. When you're bloated, your posture is different. And when you're not bloated, your posture is more open. And I was like, okay, this is impacting my movement patterns. What is actually going on here? And I started investigating further. So that was my little window into gluten. And so for you, it was something similar.
Yeah, I mean, all the signs were there, but it took, after I had my first child, I started to get thyroid issues. And then I started reading a lot about that, and everything was just coming up with gluten with thyroid. And so I was like, okay, give it a shot. And, it's sad to say that it takes something aesthetic, but my skin clearing up was like, hell yeah, And I think because...
Plus you've been struggling with it for so long, though. Like,
but that was just like the most obvious sign. And I think that for a lot of people, I speak to people all the time that still put up with the bloating, still put up with not being able to go to the toilet, all these things. But I know that if they had acne and it cleared up, they'd probably stop it. You know how we look at things as a society. And I think, and then you start to realise how much better that you feel. But then I, as a diabetic, going on the gluten-free path was like a whole other, journey again, because gluten-free is so, most like the bread you were talking about, maybe like rice cake, all that sort of stuff is so bad for my blood sugars. Spikes me like crazy. So that's when I just stopped eating bread altogether. And that's when we started looking for something else. I mean, Jo with the same thing, with going gluten-free, she was still getting heartburn. So it wasn't just the gluten, it was the grains. And, giving up grains is like a scary, scary problem. People go, well, what do you eat? I get that all the time, what do you eat? And like, they're forgetting about all these other food groups. They're forgetting,
For those tuning in, just to anchor in some knowledge, gluten is BROW, barley, rye, oat, and wheat.
But then there's also other ones like, they go under the umbrella of wheat, like spelt, kamut, farro, all those kind of things as well.
All these ancient grains that we are led to believe are like ancient grains.
Which are a lot better, definitely a lot better, but they're still, you'd still get heartburn.
Absolutely.
Our skin would still break out. So there are people, I think, definitely if they switch to ancient grains, could much better. But for us, we were too far gone, I think. We've been having it for so long when we shouldn't have, that we just crossed a line that we can't.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you've kind of been working through this journey of eliminating foods from your diet. You get to gluten and it's like, bang, gluten's out because it's and things are starting to like radically improve in a matter of days. Things have been struggling for almost more than decades. And so from that point, like you start to realize that you can't have something that is so dear to you, your culture, your upbringing, where you've been. Two German sisters can't eat bread, can't drink beer, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so from that point, have you always been kitchen mamas or like what's going on?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that process. Like, that.
Yeah, I mean, we love being in the kitchen. Like, you know, now that it's a job, it can have us. You know, once we make a career out of it, like, sometimes I say to Joe,
Careful what you wish for.
my entire life is cooking and cleaning. Like, I leave work and then I go home and it's just like, why have I done this? But when we're like, you know, when you're cooking for love, there's nothing that we love more. You know, serving up your family a healthy meal. And I put in a lot of effort still with family dinners. You know,
it's family dinners, family breakfast, family lunch.
Okay, we are kitchen mamas. Yeah, amazing.
You know, a lot of chefs lose that. Like, you speak to a lot of chefs and they just live on takeaway.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened to us. I mean, because there's no takeaway.
There's nothing
meat. So that's not even an option.
Yeah. So from there, at what point was it like, it was just a natural inclination to go, what can I create that is like bread that will satisfy this craving?
I think you've got, once you decide to go, okay, I'm going down that scary path of no grains and looking at that sort of paleo diet, which at first we just thought, paleo just means all meat. So
we were so, because we were vegetarians.
So against
and we were so, the whole paleo thing, it triggered us.
Just eat your meat raw.
So we were very anti it.
Yeah.
But then when we started to just let's look at certain aspects of it and the grain-free, and you have to start experimenting. Especially when there wasn't that much out there.
There was nothing.
You know, we started getting into our almond flours, coconut flours, and the best thing for me is how low carb they are. So my blood sugars are steady.
Nice.
So I just fell in love with those flours.
Yeah.
And they're difficult, or they're more difficult. Like I've seen many a time people have just gone, I'll put coconut flour instead of wheat flour. And my friend made them these biscuits. She'll kill me for telling this story. I just put coconut flour in instead, that should be fine. And she handed me one, it literally exploded. It was so dry. Coconut flour. And the kids were just going, it was like,
cool party trick.
Yeah, so you have to do a bit of research. And then, I mean, at first it's daunting and then it's exciting because you're like, this is like a whole new style of cooking.
Yeah.
And you get to experiment and you get to, come up with just brand new recipes and see your health improve. And I loved it. And that was we caught the bug, didn't we? And and that's when we decided to make it a business because we just, wish someone would bring out bread we could eat. Why won't someone do it?
And we were bringing it everywhere. We'd bring it with us and getting our friends to try it.
Yeah.
And then we started thinking, I wonder if we could do this. Let's make this happen.
Was there any feedback for some of the people you were bringing it to that were suggesting this as well, or was it?
Yes,
definitely. And then we thought, let's bring it to Terra Madre.
Yeah.
We shop there, and we've been down that organic health food path for a while, and we love a chat, so they know us pretty well there. And we just let's just give it to the owner, see what he says, And we gave it to him. He was like, we'll stock it.
Yeah.
It was so easy. And then we were like, okay. And then I remember us walking out there, we're walking kind of down the back alleyway, and both going. But we had a very romantic idea.
Yes, we were very naive.
Yeah. I mean, Jo imagined herself on her bike
delivering the bread. In our ring. Yeah. That's what.
I can see it. Yeah. So, but do you reckon that might have let's talk a little bit about that. Might that have helped being that little bit naive?
Yeah. I think that everyone said it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard, and you kind of you believe them, but there's part of you that's like, oh we're going to do this. We got this. You know, it's like when you're having a baby. They're like, it's so hard. And you're like, I think I'm going to be cool here. You know? All right. And then you have the child. You're like, fuck, why didn't anyone tell me? Like, I feel like it was another baby.
Yeah.
You know? And if we knew now, if we're like, right, go back in a time machine, everything you know, you got to start again from scratch. It would be freaking difficult.
I don't know if we could do it.
To work those hours, all that, you know, go through all that again. So you have to be a little bit.
How long have you guys been invested in No Grainer?
4 years. So from the beginning, like when we started experimenting, it's been 4 years. We've officially been stopped. It was 3 years in March, but the journey definitely, it's been 4 years. Doing some markets and
because you guys are in some very amazing outlets. But I'm also I'm in awe of how word of mouth is such a key asset.
It is.
It's our only, pretty much. We are rubbish at Instagram. And we don't have a budget to do marketing. So we pretty much
So for me, as like just looking at it from having interviewed plenty of people with businesses and marketing schemes and this sort of stuff, I'm in awe of that. I think time and time again, that's like the holy grail, right? Like you've got a product that speaks for itself. You know? And this is us sounding very black and white and a bit lame about something that is so amazing because the bread is just phenomenal. But I think that is worth mentioning because of how literally it's an ode to how incredible what you're doing is. You know, it's like it is just so like I only discovered it through word of mouth. But then, and I think the beauty about word of mouth is like exactly what I was describing to you guys before. It was like, dude, this is gluten free. I'm like, no grainer. Like, tell me more, no grainer. Like, tell me more, no grainer. And I was like, I wasn't getting a response. They were just like, dude, like, you've never tried it. You're missing out. They didn't say any of that. They were just like, no grainer. Like, and that was like all the things that were associated with the, let's just call it the bread. Right? It was just like, gluten free, fucking amazing bread. Cannot believe it's not bread. Fuck bread, this is better than bread. And it was just like, all that was just covered in the words, no grainer. And in the way people were, and so like every individual that comes across your bread, and it's the same way, like literally, you guys just came over, my girlfriend was home, or my fiance, I don't know the same fiance. I'll get there eventually. And she's eating it, and I'm like, like no grainer. And she's just like, oh my God. And I'm like, no grainer. And I'm realizing that I'm saying it the same way I was introduced to you guys. You know what I mean? So the energy carries on. And so just taking your hat off for a moment, like, you know, sticking to what is the most important part of any business, right, is the actual product itself. And I think the other thing I want to highlight is, again and again, is, for those listening specifically, is I love the way you guys went about it. You know, I love the way this sort of came into being, because I was sharing with you before, like my biggest challenge was depression, and man became the guy that speaks on mindfulness and meditation, you know, wherever he can, because it's something that completely healed and changed my life. And I can see just in this conversation now, like how much of your life you committed to originally living with gluten and how much was in there, and it was like, you know, not letting go of that, you know, and then as soon as it shifted, the shifts were profound, like, you know, it's food, and I think often we don't have the conversation around how profound our relationship with food is. But even these days, I've been starting to stop and think, it's like, actually, a lot of us are addicted to something or the other. You know, we're all addicted to something or the other. And obviously caffeine and alcohol are the most obvious ones in society. But food is like a pretty subtle sort of, you know, when you get emotional, you come home, you have a hearty meal, you know, it's like, that's just how humans operate. But it's like, you're also conditioning yourself into that relationship with food and realizing that, you know, you guys went into, you know, something that had given you so many challenges and then come full circle with creating something that was so incredible. And then learning to share, just sharing. That's why I asked you, was it your friends that sort of jumped out to you as well that were like, hey, like, I'd buy your bread. I'd buy your bread. And then that kind of evolved so organically. I love it when I see that. And so it's like a real treat to have you guys here. Can I ask, was the bread, has it gone through iterations? Like, have you, obviously the first bread you would have made?
So many. And even recently, so we had because we had to buy everything from Gumtree.
Yeah.
And so we've had many ovens.
Yeah.
We're not even going to get started on ovens. But
why not? Because there's so many different elements to it, right?
Yeah.
You cook it and the energy.
Exactly, yeah. So we just had so many oven problems. And our oven would break down constantly. Like there'd be times where I'd be driving around in the van with a van full of half-baked bread, trying to like put it into different ovens. Like it was probably one of the most stressful things, wasn't it? It was really. And so we finally got this new oven, which we saved up for. We've never spent any money like this ever in our entire lives on anything. We shop at op shops, everything's secondhand. So we're buying this oven. It's like $40,000 oven, and we're like, oh my god, this is going to change everything. Yeah. And unfortunately, it wasn't the godsend that we thought it was going to be. And even in this last year, we've had to change the recipe of the bread and increase, like all our ingredients are super expensive. We've
had to make the bread a lot bigger because it doesn't rise as well in this oven. I mean, it's a great oven for certain things, but just, I don't know. Everything, the thing is, we have no one to go to for help. Yeah. We can't go to a baker and go, what's that? We're like, I don't know, this is new territory. Like, not that I'm calling us pioneers or anything.
No. Pioneers. Ladies and gentlemen, pioneers.
It sounds like
she might not call them that. I'm calling them that. And everybody that's had the bread would definitely be calling you that.
But like, there's no one you can ask for help.
Yeah, with that thing, we've totally been on our own.
Yeah.
Because people are like, you speak to a baker and I have no idea how you bake a bread without grains. No idea. What do you use? It's ridiculous. You know?
It's not called baking.
Yeah.
Grains.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did you do that then? Just trial and error.
Yeah. Sally says that
what a labour of love.
Like we would have these disasters and we think we've nailed it, and then it comes out of the oven and it like sinks. So it's like looks like spiders. And Sal says that if we weren't sisters, we wouldn't be friends anymore. We just have to walk out, like go out separate ways for a while.
I think a lot of siblings probably. We wouldn't know this shit.
No, I'm grateful the blood is thicker than water in this case. It's reflected in the bread. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Wow. So I'm just trying to tune into the fact that how much love has gone into it. I don't think us sitting here will actually be able to convey that.
Yeah.
I don't think us sitting here actually having a conversation would be able to articulate. Just listening to bread being half cooked and you running around and trying to like get it into the ovens randomly, like
even if we just
if the average person just throw that out, like
if we even with that sort of bread, like we're not going to sell that bread, but we will give it to friends. We hate that kind of food wastage.
Hate food wastage.
Like we're just
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the amount of love that you guys continuously like when you taste it, it speaks for itself.
Well, this is the craziest thing. So we get emails and we just get so much love. Like, because there's been times, like we were in the beginning doing like 80, 100-hour weeks. Like it was.
I was going home to breastfeed.
Oh yeah.
My partner was at home with her. Like we started when she was 6 months, so she's 4.5 now.
Yeah.
It's just so stressful.
Like, it was just we had no idea, but we would get these letters and these people like really taking their time. Like we know how busy everyone is. People would write these letters. Your bread has changed my life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And always when we were at the brink of like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Someone would come through. Would always, and I couldn't really understand. And as this was happening, I did this nutrition course and I was starting to understand like the energetics of food. Mm-hmm. And I was on top of this mountain one night and there were these guys sitting around a fire and I ended up meeting up with these people and I had some bread. And there was a guy there and he said, look, I don't eat anything that I haven't cooked myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm going to try that bread. And he kind of ripped off a hunk and he sat there and he ate it. And he said, I can literally taste the love in this bread, and all of a sudden I could understand, and I think about like what this company, like it's brought Sally and I closer. Our whole family, mum and dad, would like come to the kitchen. They still sticker the bags for us from Canberra and send them because it is like it just is pure love.
It is a real family business. Like my partner Tim is heavily involved as well. I could not have done it without him. Like, you know, we've got 2 kids and I was the stay-at-home parent for our son, 100%, and he worked, and now he's more the stay-at-home parent for our daughter. And I think that's been a really great part of it. Because,
it's been incredible.
Yeah, because it's allowed us, once we got through the shitstorm, the beginning, it has allowed us flexibility as well, which is what we always wanted. We always wanted that independence, to be our own bosses, Yeah,
incredible. I was going to ask you that very question. What compelled you to keep going through the moments of the challenges? Obviously, I know the blessing of being sisters and just knowing that, you know, your business partner is your sibling and that, you know, having a healthy relationship there. But those messages of love, people kept outpouring, like, in the light moments in the darkness, like, anything else? Like, you know, when you're really struggling, like, is it just
it was always just
commitment?
like, we have reached the brink a few times, haven't we? We can't do this. And then we'd go, right, okay, maybe we won't do it anymore. Maybe we just won't. And then we'd be like, no, we're going to keep going. Like something, I don't even know what. Like,
well, it feels like it's this no-brainer. It is it's a being. It's got its own energy. It's a thing, and it'd be like, you kind of said something like you'd leave a toddler. Like, see ya, and just shut you down. It's like, we don't know where it could go.
And now we have stuff. We've got a team that works. But it was for a long time, it was just me, Jo, and Tim, and mum and dad. But we've got a team of people now, and it's such a great group of people.
They're the best.
And because you spend so much time with the people you work, far more than your friends or anything. And you become like, sounds so cliche, but like a bit of a family. And everyone says like it feels like a safe space working at No Grainer. They like really like it. And we've got people that are far too qualified to work there, but they stay because we've kind of built something. And
so let's talk about that a little bit, right? So that's like, I know it's going to be odd, but let's just talk about it. It's company culture. Which you know all about. Which right now is company culture, right? And it's like, you started with something super humble, super grassroots, super something that was just like based on love. And that love is literally being nourished and nurtured and cultivating out into the new people that are coming into the company as well. At no point, I doubt, and maybe I'm completely wrong, is there an intention that like our company is going to be love? Or has it just been, No Grain is so purely love?
Well, I moved to Melbourne 5 or 6 years ago from Sydney, and I was working in TV, and I had a couple of mini nervous breakdowns, and then I had the big one that kind of booted me out of Sydney. And I'd been coming here since Sally had Lenny. I'd been coming to Melbourne a lot. And I kind of arrived here, and I was pretty broken. I've suffered with depression and anxiety as long as I can remember.
And your gut health has a lot to do with that as well.
Totally, yes, absolutely. And Sally's always, even though she's the younger sister, she's always been a bit more grounded than me, and she's always has really looked after me a lot. And she kind of also, like, a part of it was that she wanted to give me this sense of purpose. And I think that I know that wasn't the
No, but it was. I mean, I forget that sometimes, but I remember saying to Tim, I can see the potential. I can see Jo's potential. She was completely broken. Like, she was very successful in TV from someone. I mean, I always joke, I got the degree in TV media production, and then Jo just walks into it, gets promoted, ends up, I'm like, oh, Jo. And,
damn it, being grounded sucks.
So then when she came to Melbourne, and I'm like, I just think if Jo had career that she was proud of and had something, you know, because she was in a very low point. I'd never seen her that low. And a big part of it was like, if Jo has this, she's got this purpose, and watching her grow in the business has been amazing because she does things that I just couldn't do. You know, the way she was so good at building relationships. If she needs to get tough, she can get tough. Yeah. She's really great with the staff, and I've never seen her work so hard. You know, Jo, like, because I didn't know she had it. All those times she told me she couldn't help me. I guess
all those other times she flaked. But we touched on something really deep there, which is purpose. And, you know, obviously I have my own agenda. For me, health and purpose are a really big thing. And, you know, we've just discussed that, you know, you've been coming out of this trajectory of depression and you obviously love her to bits. And you can see that, you know, instigating a sense of purpose in your beloved sister. Where did that realize that, like, obviously you could see that why purpose in particular? You know, it could be anything. It could be just come live with me and I'll look after you. Or,
I think because Jo had lost her confidence. You know, she'd really, really lost her confidence. I think she understood that she was loved. Yeah. You know, Jo's got a really special relationship with my partner Tim as well. Like sometimes I say they share the same brain. They're always going up on me. And amazing relationship with my kids. Like I knew she was loved. There was just something, and it was just that confidence. And I think that working in television, it's cutthroat, and she was just completely worn down from it, and I knew that this was one area in her life that she needed to build up, like, and so, and I guess just being able to work together, just being like, we don't have to have a boss, we can be the boss.
Find our own way.
Yeah, that's been a tough job.
That is we're the boss.
I know.
Oh my God. I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, because you're also the executive, but you're also the creative. You know, and it's like just how much that involves. You know, sometimes like every now and then, like someone will be like, "Oh, I need you to come help me out with this project," and it's like it's your project, and they're like, "Yep," and I go in and I smash it. It's great because it's like, "Oh, I'm just executing. I don't have to be a creative as well." Yeah. You know, it's so easy to just pull strings. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, it's such a relief. But when you're creative, and then it's like, okay, what do I execute? And you have to be creative about your execution as well. It's like, so much goes on in that space, but a whole other conversation. But I want to touch back into, like, how was that journey for you coming back? And then, you know, obviously, no-brainer wasn't actually a thing that it is now. Like, now you can see, like, you know, what it really is, and it's amazing. I feel really blessed to be able to have this conversation with you guys. But how was that journey of finding yourself in something that you could give back to from, with finding that sense of purpose?
It's been absolutely massive. It has changed my life in the most profound ways. Like, I feel like I am a completely different person now than 5 years. And it's been a pretty crazy, wild ride because I've been on I've been on this path for quite a long time, but I've almost been on this spiritual, like, waking up at the same time as No Grainer. The two have been happening side by side, and when I moved to Melbourne, I met an amazing psychotherapist that diagnosed me with having bipolar 2, which I'm not attached to the diagnosis, but I'm very extreme. Yeah. So it was like these highs and lows, and I feel like I've had to learn to rein all of that in.
Channel the energy.
Yeah, and No Grainer, like, I have been a fucking nightmare throughout some of this. I've been awful. Sal's wanted to leave, you know, just be like, I can't be around you, and I've had to take almost an outside look at my behaviour and how it's affected me, my family, everything. And I feel, I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I'm coming to a place where I'm finally bringing those sides together. And I couldn't have done it without this business. It's 100%. It's been absolutely the most incredible journey.
And also because Jo has had to stick at something? Like, you know, like,
Yeah,
it's that, like, right, fuck it, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm leaving, you know, I'm going here, I'm going there. And this is like, you've really had to stick at this.
Yeah.
There's something really special, right, when you create something that is so dear to you and you commit, you know, and then you can see, like, it's literally your greatest mirror. Like, for a long time, I was looking for something that was personal development-y, that would help me, that I could commit myself to, that it would return its energy to me, and I could boom. And I was like, tried network marketing, tried all these random little things along the way, and I was like, no, the energy's not right, the energy's not right. And then podcasting popped up, and classic example, like, you guys are doing something phenomenal, right? And before, I'd be like a humble person just eating your bread, right? And just been like, wow, those sisters must be really amazing. And that would be the end of that chapter for me, right? But now it's like, okay, I'm eating the bread and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. And I want to know more. So now I have to get organised. I have to schedule, and we were scheduled for 2:30. And then, I'm still working on it, you know, but I have to get organised, you know what I mean? And all these little pieces of like, okay, now, like, if I didn't ask you to come to a podcast, what's in the way there? All my self-worth stuff, because I don't feel like I'm worthy of interviewing you because you guys have done something really amazing and I'm just on a humble podcast. You know
but then we feel like,
that's like,
podcast.
I know, and I'm listening to your other podcasts and I'm like,
I know.
Oh, these people are all really.
But you know what I mean? Like, the committing yourself to something that then gives you the opportunity to grow in return. And for many people, that is a business, but I don't think a lot of people go into business looking at it like that.
Yeah.
They're looking at it like, okay, I need to grow, but don't, like, financially. You know what I mean? It's like, and I find it amazing what you're sharing. Like, you know, my spiritual journey and my no-brainer journey are completely like two helixes. You know, like they're like going through this. Wasn't really articulated, but that's what I saw. Sharing it, you know. And I feel the same way with Inspired Evolution. It's like the Inspired Evolution was literally my next step of my personal growth. It was like, okay, commit to something that is gonna, you know, put energy out there, and then you'll grow more from that energy. And the same things happen here with No Brainer. So I totally resonate with, you know, what you were saying in terms of how grounded it's kept you, and in terms of learning to find, you know, like, who you really are and how to show up in the world. Man, what a blessing! What a blessing! And like, just that real authentic place. I think again and again. I know I'm harping, but yeah, I think it's reflected in the brand. Reflected in your product, like you eat it, and just the amount of commitment and love and sheer dedication. Because like, until, like, I'm trying my best to articulate it to the listener that's not eating your bread, right? But the reality is, until you eat it, you don't realize that you guys have created something that is super fucking healthy, and it's like, it's not grains, and it tastes better than the thing it was trying to substitute.
Not everyone thinks so, but that's very nice.
No, get out. Who doesn't think so?
Oh, we think people all the time.
Who doesn't think so?
Two people.
But, you know, but
2 people out of 4 years of being in business.
it depends.
I reckon those are 2 people that have their own bread companies. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But if you're used, I met that one lady, she's like, I've grown up on white, crusty Italian bread. I'm sorry, like, it's not for me. And I get that. I get
the
that
continental
too.
bread.
Yeah, but maybe in 5 years' time, and she might have a health issue or something, and then
like, you'll be back.
Wishing you all the best, but no, fair enough. Yeah, amazing. So, where is the journey for No Brainer headed? Like, do you guys think about it too much, or do you just enjoy making the bread for the most part? Like, what is, like, if your heart could just be like, No Brainer, you've got your own energy, when the toddler's fully grown, what is he doing? What's he look like? Or she? What does she look like? What is she doing?
I mean, this is a tough one for us, because we often set goals and we put expectations, and when it doesn't happen, we feel a bit disappointed, and
we really, there's that whole thing, you've got to work on your business, not in your business. And at the moment, because our margins are incredibly tight, we never went into this thing thinking about money. Ever. We never. And even for the first 2 years, we didn't make any money. We've got beautiful credit card debts to show that. But it was never about that. And we had a business kind of coach said, you need to put the price up. We agonised for 8 months. We can't put the price up because we didn't want to make this bread that people like us couldn't afford. So we agonised over it, and we put 2 of the loaves up by 50 cents. And we were like, freaking out. And so it's like, we need to try and figure out how to take care of ourselves,
Of course.
take care of the business, and start to actually be able to draw a profit from this to enable us to let it grow and to really, because we love, like, even doing tastings, because the people that come up to talk to us, a lot of people are sick or on the path or healing, and we just have the most incredible conversations, and it's sharing this knowledge, and because you're there, you know, doing the tasting, you don't have to hate small talk. You can just get into it. You know, you straight away, you can talk about poo. You can talk about...
people go straight, they come into the kitchen and they're like, right, this is wrong with me.
This is me.
And you find out about everything.
We don't
care.
We don't care. It's like, bring it on. We know that. And so we would love to be out there more and just informing people and, like, representing our business. Because, I mean, like even with the marketing stuff, if everyone that needed to eat our bread knew about our bread, then we'd be fine. Like, you know, like the company would be fine, but it's not, and so at the moment it's about how do we keep everything, like keep the integrity of the product and of the business, but also have us out. Because Sal's the brain behind this. No, she is. She's got the most amazing ideas. She's working on these beautiful cookies at the moment and these banana flour pancakes and all these things, these amazing omega rolls, all this stuff. But it's like we talk about it all, but we can't.
There's something, I think a lot of it for me, and this is why I do feel like I'm not giving it my absolute all until my 4-year-old starts school. I reckon that I'm probably a bit of a roadblock because...
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
No, because I don't want to look back and be like, oh, well, I missed that. You know, I still have, you know, 2 days a week with her and my partner has her the other time, and, you know, I don't want to rush that, but I know that those 2 days a week would be the time that I would work on the business. And I can do that next year. So right now I'm kind of happy being where we are. And then once I can, I want it to grow. Because I never want to look back. I do look back already and think it's sometimes like, ooh, I wasn't the most present mother I could be.
You know? A whole really yummy conversation in here because you guys... mother, children, and business at the same time, and you navigate that. There's a whole conversation in there.
You're led to believe that you can have it all and you can, but you kind of can't. No one wants to say that.
There's only one self, and your decisions and your choices are something that you're going to have to live with. And that's not something that people talk about as much. But that's something that is your reality. You know, it's like, yes, I love my child, and I've also got a child that is no-brainer. You know, and how much attention does each of them get? Wow.
I think that is a big, and we've sort of spoken about that. I've sort of spoken about the fact that I'm going to work a lot harder once she...
You couldn't work harder.
No, but I want to be present with her. On those days when I'm with her, I just want to be present and just be able to... get down and play in the dirt with a 4-year-old and not kind of be on the phone and
I think there's just respect a lot the space that you're holding to be an amazing mother and to be, you know, an entrepreneurial creator as well at the same time. You know, it definitely has its challenges, and I think just for those that are listening in as inspiration, because a lot of people would be in a similar situation and may not take that step to go create something because there is so much to hold and navigate and so much to hold space for, basically. I think that's a big part of the gender-inspired evolution as well, is to consistently interweave stories of people doing it on their own terms and just sharing that story, because listening into your story, there'll be a mother out there that's like, I've always wanted to create this. Like, you know, always thought, can I not? And
I mean, this week looking at like the, you know, Labour leadership, and you've got 10 people that going, actually, I got kids. I'm not going to, and it's more, not really the issue for men, it's more of an issue for women. I mean, it does affect men. My partner's definitely, you know, held back on doing a lot of stuff because he wants to raise our kids. But it is something that comes up. It is the reality, and it does make it quite difficult. But I also love that they get to see me doing something I love.
Yeah.
And when you ask my son, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, I work for No Grainer. Like, what else would I do? You know?
What are you going to do? Do what I love?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from? Mum. Yes.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
on the other side of it, I think it's quite inspirational for them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The world you're bringing your kids into. That's profound. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sal. I'll be here for the next 20 minutes.
I didn't get the word period.
I'm going to have to get you on just for that. I'm just not going to start the podcast. I'm just going to wait. There's a myriad of things I've been thinking about.
As a mother,
look, my last little pocket of energy that I want to weave into this conversation is, even as you've been here, you've been talking amongst yourselves very candidly. You've been very candid with me, even about, like conversations around, where your business is at, in terms of integrity versus longevity and how to like really weave that all in together, which is, something that is a really deep personal conversation. But I think that layer of transparency that you guys so readily afford each other, our listeners, myself, and also like, it's a tough way to articulate this, but I'm trying my best here, is that is again, reflected in the transparency of your ingredients, how healthy they really are, so your personalities really shine through in what you're doing with each other and in this conversation, and also with what you're creating. There's a really yummy sort of nexus there at authenticity that I just really want to take a moment to honour, acknowledge. If there is a chat around there for us to have around, then by all means. Just the authenticity in how you guys show up with vulnerability, and the authenticity of the product you guys also create, and just the amount of love and vulnerability that it takes to continuously show up for that. I just wanted to honour that if there's a conversation.
Well, same with what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, very different things, but, the same motivations behind it. So.
It's been interesting even because we don't know much about business, like traditional business and profit margins. We've only just found out the formula, the exact like of where we're working at, and we've had a lot of people come in to tell us, you need to change your ingredients, an egg's an egg. And I'm like, do you want to go sleep in the chicken, the battery chicken farm, and then we'll talk tomorrow morning and you tell me if it's an egg? You know what I mean? Like, you've got to drop your standards and not use organic this or not. And it's like, then we just think, what's the point?
Yeah.
Then we're just like everyone else.
Yeah.
And, we could be these serious businesswomen, but then it's like, that's not.
Someone spoke to us about doing a line of just regular gluten-free bread, which is the main ingredient for starches, which is the shittest thing for my blood sugars. Like the absolute worst. And and for like,
totally. This will be part of my funnel.
Go away. And for a second you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna give us a bit of money to be able to do the things we love, and then we're just like, no, that doesn't excite me at all. That fills me with dread. Doing something like that.
Doesn't excite me.
Not at all. Yeah. And that's I suppose looking towards the future is I really want other diabetics to experience what I've experienced. Yeah. By changing their diets and seeing what can happen, and that's really I think my motivation.
Sal's endocrinologist. Like, Sally has the most amazing, perfect blood sugars. But the old Western, like the way that,
I'm listening to you.
The healthy diet pyramid. And Sal's, like, her blood sugars are incredible. But it's like that information isn't readily available, is it?
No.
It's not. He doesn't really want to know what she's doing it, just to keep doing whatever she's doing. So to be able to share that information.
I mean, there's more and more of it out there, but it's still not mainstream.
I think that leads into, there's like a whole really deep conversation to have here, but I think to put it succinctly is you can spend, like, this is one thing I've come to realize, is I can skimp on spending the money on the organic food and the product now, right? And just pay it later.
Yeah.
You know, on vitamins and healthcare, and getting my gut healing, and you know, whatever it looks like, dialysis, whatever it'll look like, you know what I mean? But, or I can just spend the money now, right, and I have the energy to spend the money and improve my quality of living now and look after myself for the future. But it is a massive paradigm shift, and I think that for some people that's a lot to lean in on, a lot to swallow. But that's the lens I've chosen to look at. You know, and I think you guys are probably exactly the same. It's like, I'm happy to spend the money on ingredients now, because now when I want to experience all the goodness that life has to offer me, and if I start looking after myself now, in these years where I have so much life to experience, I can experience it. And then also, the byproduct is I'm living longer. Right? Because you're going to end up spending that energy, I believe, one way or another. You know? So touch wood, this is probably not the best thing to advertise. I don't have private health insurance. Right? But I try to get the best source of magnesium I can, the best source of zinc I can. I try and shop, you know, everything is like to the best of my ability is organic, and I know that organic is even not as good as it gets, you know, like wild crafted is probably, you know, and you know, detail, like where it's actually sourced and naturally the universe put it in that place for it to emerge into existence is probably the best place I should try and get food from. So having that awareness, I just try to make the best decisions I can. I look at that and go, or I can just eat, you know, Macca's a couple of times a week and get private health insurance, and then just, you know, let those two things dance amongst each other. So, you know, how much responsibility, how much do I want to invest in that? And I think that's kind of what the conversation is. Yeah, just a friendly reminder that, you know, for some people it's just a matter of making a paradigm switch, which is, that's how I look at it. And I share that because I'm quite money oriented, because I'm Indian. We're very good with numbers. We're very good with numbers. It's like, okay, so how is this going to be justified? You know? And it's like, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, organic apple, $4 a kilo. Normal apple, $1 a kilo. How? And then I started getting clear on, and like the first example that one of my first things that I ever did was got an apple from Coles, got an apple from the big markets that was organic. The organic apple went down in like 4 days. I shit you not, the Coles apple 3 months later still going strong. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, you're freaking me out. You're freaking me out. Like, are you food? Like, what are you? You know, like that was a real mind trip for me. So before we tie out, any last sort of anything you want to share, or anything that you started using from this thing,
We're not good at keeping things succinct, are we? No. I don't think you should have asked that. If you want to wrap this up,
get some bread.
Buy our bread.
But is it?
I think just people to make little changes. You know, you don't have to go grain free and what we did, but actually really check in with yourself and think, how does this make me feel? Because I'm really bloated and I don't feel this and I have no energy. That's not good enough. You know, really check in with yourself and look at the foods that you're eating and look at maybe your life and stress and all that sort of stuff, and try to get on the path to health now before you end up with like autoimmune disease like me, or, you know, I wish I'd known all of this 20 years ago, because I'd be a completely different person.
Start making those little changes now.
Even if they're small.
Even
if they're, okay, I'm not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore, I'm going to have kombucha, or, you know, just little things. It makes a difference, and then it gets you on that path, and then you just start to enjoy it, I think. We love it. Like, as you know, it's fun. Like,
Oh, incredible sisters. Wow. Okay, so thank you so much for coming today and sharing your energy.
Thank you.
And just the joy and the laughter and feeling that all cooking in your kitchen. It got me even more into your bread now. But I have to also just take a moment to also acknowledge, you know, all the work that goes into, you know, like there's been trying times, and also like, you know, you struggled with in the past with your acne and depression and coming in and just all those little moments, of inflection that brought you to where you are, to be able to share your gift, your bread, your amazingness with so much love and heart into the world. I just really want to take a moment to acknowledge you. Thank you for walking that line. And
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Love of the Inspired Evolution and sharing the Love of the Inspired Evolution. If you feel like this content has supported you or may support anyone else that you know may resonate with the content of it, please share away and share the love around. Thank you guys so much. And to stay up to date on whatever's coming out with the Inspired Evolution, please subscribe. There's all these links in the bio for you to tune into the episodes and all these different platforms, just so the message can get to you and your loved ones. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Stay inspired to evolve.